Hello, and welcome to another transmission from the Velvet Revolution. Wherever, whenever, whatever you are, and whenever you find this, I hope you're well and good in this crazy world that we find ourselves. Thank you for choosing to listen and being part of our conversation. Um, it's a pleasure as ever. And my name is Ben Rice, and I'm joined as ever by Mr. Dave Noble. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right, but I'm not all right.
You're quite not all right. I
Yeah,
don't often see you like this. You're a little bit jittery.
yeah. I'm jittery because I always use the word discombobulated. I don't like this setup I've got. I've switched setups, and I'm a creature of habit, and I just don't like this cockpit that I'm in. It's not.
Okay,
I don't feel in control.
right.
You know what I mean? I just feel
Do you feel like
really.
the tractor beam is just pulling you in, and you?
Yeah. I don't like it. I really don't. So I'm gonna revert back to how I've always had it, but I've got to sort the cameras out because we're trying to upgrade, aren't we? We're trying to upgrade the quality of transmissions. I think the audio's all right. The audio's always been pretty crisp because we use um, condenser mics and all of that jazz and whatever. But it's yeah, for me the visual thing. Since we've gone visual, I prefer radio. If I'm honest, I prefer fucking radio. Because
Okay.
you ain't got to worry about any of this shit.
Yes. Yes.
I could be on the floor. I could be lying down
Yep.
and be just in the zone with it. But as soon
Yep.
as you've got cameras on you and and you've got this sort of, it's just like so that's why I'm a little bit out of sorts this morning. But it's my own fault for not prepping. I didn't set up and prepare for this because it's not a podcast studio. It's not designed for that, and I just set it up for this every week we record, and I'm like I've done a mad scramble. But other than that, I'm pretty good.
Now you got that off your chest.
Oh yeah, I am feeling pretty good, but I also um now I'm thinking about it, feeling a little bit, I feel a little bit all over the place.
Mm.
Um, I went, I had a really great day yesterday. I was with Carlo, the old Carlo, and he came over to mine and we was doing some bike improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a mechanic, so it's really handy having a dude who's a mechanic. So he came over.
It's Carlo the spearfishing guy as well.
Yeah, yeah. So he says, "Look,
Ah.
I'll come over. I'll finish." He was finished up early yesterday. He said, "Look, I'll come over after. Let me have a quick pasty." And
As you do in Cornwall.
yeah, so he did that, and then he came over and he helped me with some stuff that I was trying to improve on the motorbike, which he did, and it's just getting better and better, and it's like wicked. And he says, "We'll go for a dive after."
Mm.
So that's what we did, and it was really great. And it's a really good day. But the sea, the ocean was really, it was pretty calm when we pulled up, and it didn't look too bad. But it started to get a bit swelly, a bit rough. And there was quite a few boats out yesterday because it's bank holiday weekend and the weather's nice.
Mm.
But there was I realized I started to feel like I had motion sickness. Like you would if you was on a boat, like
Mm.
seasickness. And it was when I was underwater, I surfaced and because I saw a massive starfish and I was trying to sort of check it out and have a look at
Mm.
it close up. And I had to come up and because I was just like, oh, I feel a bit sick, felt a bit nauseous. And I said to Carlo, look, I'm going to go inshore because we were right out where it was all the action was. And and yeah, I came back in and it wasn't until I had my feet on the ground, I was just like, yeah, I'm a bit like, whoa. And all of the rest of yesterday, I felt like that. And right up until I went to bed, I felt a bit like nauseous. It's mad. So maybe I'm still recovering from that. I'm precious. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
sensitive. I'm sensitive, man.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, looking forward to this. Looking forward to today. Um,
Yeah.
weather's lovely. Yeah, that's my check-in for now. How are you? I see you're wearing you're a gooner,
Hmm.
as they say. Um, didn't you achieve something recently? I keep
Yeah,
hearing people who seem to be happy about
yeah.
something.
We've won the league for the first time in 22 years. So yeah, it's quite a significant week in the
But
life of the Arsenal.
but aren't Arsenal great?
Yeah, we are great, but
So what?
we haven't been
So
great for a while.
so why are you? Why is it taking 22 years? It's a bit like the England, not Brit, the English football club. Who are like everyone's always trying to um, reclaim 1966.
Yeah,
It's like that was how long ago?
yeah,
Let it go. We might not ever win it again.
yeah.
Is it the same for the Gooners?
No, well, it's just been a long time. Yeah, we've
Well, it
been
has been a long time. 22 years is a long
yeah,
time, man.
yeah. Casper was very emotional. My son, yeah, he was almost in tears, bless him, because he was like, they've never done it in my lifetime. And I said, well, that's because you are 22. So yeah, you wouldn't have seen it before. So the scenes at the stadium were incredible. Um, I think one of your young Mavericks is a gooner because it was all over his social media, all
Oh,
these videos of it. So yeah,
yeah, I spoke to him actually the other day after it had all kicked off, and there's two young Mavericks that
yeah,
are well, three actually that I could think of, maybe four that are avid Arsenal fans,
yeah,
and yeah, one of them lives in just Canterbury near
yeah,
Highbury. The other one's not there, but he was born there.
right.
So I think they rocked up there. I think they saw about it, and it was like a late night thing, wasn't it? Everyone just
Well,
turned
yeah,
up.
I mean, basically we won the league because Man City lost. Oh, sorry, they drew in the end, but because yeah, so it was that game finished about 10ish, and then everyone just descended on the stadium, and yeah, I wish I'd gone down. Casper and I were talking about getting on the train and jumping down there because the scenes were just incredible. Um,
And was Ian Wright down there with all his little
Ian Wright was down there. I
crew?
mean, even some of the players, at about 6 in the morning, some of the players were walking around the stadium and with some of the stragglers from the night before.
Did Ian
So,
Wright score a goal?
no, because he doesn't play anymore.
I'm joking.
He's too old.
I'm
Okay,
joking.
I'm just checking. Yeah,
Paul
all right.
Merson. Paul Merson.
No,
No, has he moved on?
he's moved on. He's still in recovery, isn't he?
Oh mate, Tony Adams.
I haven't seen him appear yet, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, look, I'm really pleased for you lot.
thanks.
Truly, I sense the joy,
Yep.
which is
Uh,
nice.
yeah, so I'm heading down to a barbecue today at a mate's to watch the last game of the season. It's his birthday, and he's an avid gooner. So, and it happens to be in Crystal Palace where we are playing our final game of the season as well.
Nice.
So there should be lots of Arsenal fans down there as well.
Well done, Arsenal.
Thanks. I'll
Yeah,
take that gratitude
yeah.
and pass it on.
I see the tribalism in it. Is that think I'm allowed to say that?
Mm,
I'm allowed to say that. I'm saying
yeah,
it anyway.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just going to say it. It's the gladiator. It's definitely got an air of gladiator-esque-ness about it. You know, the whole football scene, if you want to call
mm,
it that, and the people that worship it.
yeah,
It is a religion. And am I right or wrong by saying
yeah.
that?
No, no. I think yeah, people. Yeah, there's an obsession to it. There's very much a tribalism. There's
Yeah.
yeah, all of
For
that.
for good and bad, because
Yeah,
it's but the good
yeah,
stuff is it's I feel like everyone's got it's like church. The stadium's the church, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's a good thing. It's needed. Fellowship, brotherhood, sisterhood,
yeah.
um, community, common goal, theatre,
Mm,
welcome distraction to the monotony of the bullshit that's out there in life.
yeah, yeah. All of
Yeah, some some exhilarating, adrenaline fueled action.
that. Well, I really don't like him, and I'm not afraid to say that because I find him quite divisive. But Piers Morgan is a massive Arsenal fan, and one of the comments that he made on the back of all the celebrations was that that's the real London, that's the
Mm,
real UK. Watching all of those people, all those different nationalities, different cultures, different genders, they're all coming together in this massive celebration, just this massive
yeah.
release of joy because Arsenal had won a trophy or won the league for the first time in 22 years. It was incredible.
Here's the thing: if they'd lost,
Yeah.
what would have happened?
Um, People would have been frustrated, and there'd have been there'd been some sadness because we were
Some fires that might have been started in bins. Uh,
Wi-Fi's in bins.
Fires in bins. I don't know. Just that's sort of something you do when you get angry, isn't it? It's just like a fire in a bin. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Don't people do that?
I not that I'm hugely aware of, but maybe.
Okay, just what I thought. I don't
Is
know.
that what you do when you're really angry? You go and put
Yeah,
put a fire out in a bin, or sorry,
yeah,
put make a fire in a bin.
yeah, yeah. And what else? And urination all over the walls of the subways. They start tagging stuff against
Mm,
the opposing team that beat them.
yeah.
All that kind of jazz.
Some sort of 80s rival gang movie. What's it called? The Warriors. Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
yeah, it's all of that.
yeah, yeah.
So it can go two ways, right? If they'd
Mm,
lost, you only have to watch England. And I always bring it back to that. Grown men and women, when England lose, they get really angry,
they do.
really angry. And it's like, we can celebrate when it's all joy. It's like, oh, yeah, like old matey, what's his name? You said? The
Ian
divide.
Wright.
No, Piers Morgan, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
He's making a comment that, oh, it's really great, brings everyone together. But what would he be saying if everyone was getting angry and tearing everything up?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, he's an entertainer, mate.
he is
From what I
very much.
understand, I don't even know him, but it's an observation. He's an entertainer. He's all in it for the entertainment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, should we? Anything else? What else is going on? It can't all be Arsenal,
Well,
or is it? Or is it all
it is.
Arsenal?
It has been quite a lot of Arsenal. It's been I'm on a half term now. The last week, just had the last week of school.
Mm.
We had a leavers barbecue for the year 11s on Friday, which was lovely. The blistering sunshine. I've been doing loads of walking. I got up at 5 this morning and I've walked. I did a 2.5 hour walk. Did 15K.
Hang on, you woke up at 5 and did a 15K walk this morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm feeling good.
Where did you go?
There's like a route around the town. It's like a greenway, and they've created this path, and I do most of that, and then cut across back to home.
If I lived close to you, I'd terrorize you on my motorbike because I can go on greenways on my motorbike.
Yeah, you join all the local village kids that sort of
Yeah.
zip around on their little mopeds, and
Rah, rah, rah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I'll do it in style, man.
yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to do any announcements?
Um, well, Blaine sent us that lovely letter, but I think it might be too early to talk about it just yet.
Hmm.
So, but thank you, Blaine. I just want to say thank you for sending us in the letter you sent us this week because it's a really beautiful thing. So
No worries. Okay, well done. And what else was it? You're now spearheading an Instagram campaign, aren't you?
yes, yeah, I've posted 5 times,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I'm trying to keep up with that.
How long's the account been live?
About a week and a half.
Okay,
Yeah,
5 posts.
5 posts. I was trying to do one a day, but I started drawing a cat this week. So
Got a life, man. You don't, you
yeah,
know. It's like, and it's why I don't want to get involved.
yeah,
Makes me feel grubby. I'll just have to have showers all the time if I'm using it. So I really appreciate your what's the word I'm looking for? Your participation in that
yep.
and your
So
enthusiasm to do it.
so we now exist on 4 different platforms. We exist
So,
on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and Instagram.
oh, I just feel so my heart's sunk. But so anyone listening, press buttons, man. They do shit. All right. Like if you have one of those accounts and you are listening right now, then it means that you're obviously listening to us and you're invested in something that we're doing. If you are, just press buttons, man, because they do shit and it'll help us and it'll support us. That's it. That's all I've got to say at this point.
Yep, yep.
And we have an email address, right? So if you are like me and you don't like getting involved in that arena, and it makes you feel a little bit grubby, then we've got an email address. Join us at the Velvet Revolution pod.com. You can mark it as anonymous and you can send us in anything. We'll read it. Hate mail, I'll entertain that. you
You're
know,
actively asking for hate mail.
any crazy ideas you've got, we'll
Yeah, yeah.
entertain. Just send us your thoughts, man. Any
Revolutionary of the week.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
improvements, anything you think, any critique, take it on the chin, can handle it. Constructive criticism,
Mm-hmm.
or you might just want to say big ups, TVR, man, and send us some heartfelt, um, you know, share something that you just want to get off your chest. Yeah, all right,
Yep.
all right, should we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do
Do you
it.
want to know what episode number we're on? Do you not care?
I do you want to do it? No, do what you want to do, Ben. Do what you
Okay.
feel you need to
I believe we're on episode 56 and we're on the letter D for Dave.
do.
And fortuitously, it is your pick as well.
Okay, well, I prepped it because I had a feeling it was me. Um, all right, so I'll just get into it. I'll read them. There's a lot of them.
There is a lot. They sort of blend into the E's, I noticed. So it
Yeah,
makes the list look longer, but
yeah,
there is
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
D's.
All right, let me do it. Do you want me to read it in any sort of tone or?
No, you start in whatever tone you want because
Okay, right. Dependent,
uh-huh.
depressed, delirious, deranged, denial, deprived, dishonest. We've done that. That's redlined. If you haven't listened to that and you're curious, go and listen to it. Disillusion, disloyal, disobedient, disrespectful, disempower. There's a lot of dis, isn't there?
There is.
Disengage. I feel like disentangle. Did I just read disentangle? Disentangle's not on there. And that'd be a good one to join the disses. Where was I?
Uh, I've only got
Disengage,
disengage.
discourteous,
Yeah,
discourteous, decisive, disciplined, destructive,
Mhm.
setting light to bins.
So, like, because your team
Dread,
lost.
dread, which is what the fire brigade think when they hear all the bins are alight in London.
Yeah.
Despair, delusional, dehumanization, disappointment,
Mm.
dismissive, discouragement, disconnection, deflection, which we covered. That's in red. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. Discontent, deceit, defensive, defiant. That's it. There's probably
That's a
more.
lot.
Now, I relate to pretty much all of those, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's tough, isn't it? How am I meant to? Well, we've got many of these episodes to cover, and we'll be coming back to these. So let me just have a little scan. Can you play some music or whistle whilst I just digest this?
We haven't really got I should be able to hum the theme tune, shouldn't I?
Mm.
Should bring
Which
yeah,
may add big ups to P Noble for writing it because it's a
yeah.
banger. Um, it really is. Um, and it's on some of the platforms. If anyone likes it that much, they want to add it into their list. Right, okay. Oh, I don't know what to do with this, and I'm just gonna quickly scan for a hand. Delirious is jumping out at me. Delirious. What's that even mean? Delirious. That's sort of some kind of madness, neurosis, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then underneath it, deranged.
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes down a level. So it's like delirious, then deranged. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Like you start out being delirious, a little bit delirious, and then you become full bang deranged.
When you've really, really gone for it.
And then that leads to depravity.
Yeah.
Right. Um, yes, decisive, discipline, destructive, destructive. I'm going to go with destructive.
Okay.
Go destructive.
Is that because you've still got these bins in your head?
I don't know why I've attached to that idea. Why did I think that bins get set alight? I'm sure I've seen a bin alight before, not just in the movies. I mean, in America, the image that you see is you know, walking down the back alleys of some some city. This this to say Los Angeles, and you got all of the homeless standing around,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple of like city boys that are just like high on crack in their suits,
Okay. Or
and you,
warm
uh,
or warming themselves by the bin, yeah?
yeah. They're down there scoring, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just hanging out because they just they're down there. And you got them big oil drum containers. I don't know if they are oil drums, but
Yep.
they're those, right? And they're alight and they're ablaze, and that's sort of the backdrop to the bins on fire and destructive destruction
Okay.
is the name of the game,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna throw this back to you.
Thanks.
I'll just put a red line for it. Right, destructive or destruction? What do you reckon?
Destructive. I'm feeling destructive. I'm feeling destruction. It'd be feeling destructive, wouldn't it?
Well, create destruction.
Mm.
Um, destruction. What does it even mean? So let's unpack it.
Okay.
Destructive. Destructive. Why did I pick destructive?
I've got no idea.
Maybe I like the look of the word.
Hmm.
And then I just went into one about the bins. So I'll let that one go now. Destructive. I think I said that I relate to everything that I've read, pretty much. You know,
Hmm.
like maybe in some way, shape, or form, I've known all of those things
Yeah.
in my own experience. Whether I've actually been them or I've been subjected to them. And I know destruction, and I've been destructive, and I've been subjected to destruction and others that have been destructive. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, brother.
Did you say you've been attracted to people that are destructive?
Affected.
Affected?
But now you said it, yeah, maybe. Destruction. Like, isn't it the Guns N' Roses album?
Appetite for destruction? Yeah, yeah, the one with the robot on the front.
Yeah, Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go, people. Anyone listening or watching? Um, do you relate? Do you relate?
Do you
What
think
is
it?
it? What is an appetite for destruction? You know, what is that? What is that?
I mean, Mr. Rose has quite an appetite for destruction, doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't know him, but
The media portrayal of him would
yeah.
suggest he does.
Well, I mean, I've read the memoir of Slash. What a great memoir that was! Wow. Have you read
Is it
it?
good? No.
Oh, it's good. You should get that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good, good, good read. Very good read. It's one of the good ones, man. Yeah, yeah. Appetite for Destruction. Yeah. What was you
What
going to
would
say? You was going to say something a minute ago.
I was I mean I think this the reason I was asking about whether you was like you were attracted to people that were destructive, I think definitely in my past I I know that my attraction to destruction is normally a complete complete blind spot when it comes to people,
Mm-hmm.
particularly probably romantic relationships. It's probably I have been the people. It's almost like a if I'm really attracted to someone,
Mm-hmm.
then they're probably quite damaged, and they're probably going to be quite destructive.
It's very honest of you to admit that.
Um, so I'm sure that I've been destructive in relationships. I'm sure I've been well, I know I have. I've been pretty avoidant, but I also know that relationships where I've tended to get more emotionally attached and probably more hurt and probably more damaged myself is when I choose somebody where I'm feeling, yeah, feeling those that sort of over attraction. It's almost like yeah, it is definitely a blind spot. It's like it's something I've got to be wary of seeing someone and thinking, why am I so attracted to you? And it will probably be because they have been through some stuff.
And is that still prevalent, you're saying? Is it still very much a thing, yeah? But you have
Yeah,
that. It's not like past tense, like, oh, I used to, because I relate to what you're saying. Like, I used to be very, I'd gravitate towards crazy shit, you know?
yeah, yeah,
I'd have an appetite for destruction, put it that way.
yeah.
And um where did that come from? I mean, it's the album, name of the album, Guns N' Roses album, but did they take that from somewhere else, or is that sort of just made up?
I presume it's made up. I don't
It's
know.
great. I love it. It's great. It's great. And Welcome to the Jungle, which is obviously on the album. Um, I feel like that really captures a lot of the spirit of what the album is called.
Yeah,
Have they got a track called Appetite for Destruction on that album?
I don't know. It was one of those albums that I listened to a lot, but I couldn't tell you a lot about it now. I haven't listened to it for
Mm.
years.
Yeah. Um, I was very lucky, fortunate to be backstage at Download Festival
Right.
when Guns were headlining.
Okay.
Not in their prime. This is like, and they all turned up on. They arrived. Each band member arrived on a separate tour bus,
Okay.
and they literally had their own allocated like field area for where they were going to be
Right.
backstage. And they all arrived. They had like all of the tour buses were like parked up next to each other, and they had one for each person. And they literally just came out when they had to play, and that was it. And I remember when they were coming on and they were starting to perform, and I strategically walked stage side, um, not on the stage, but on the ground. I walked stage side, and just as I'm going past the guitar sort of part of where the guitarist can come out and play, Slash was doing his solo and he was just doing the whole axe thing, doing his solo to what's the song called? Paradise City.
Okay.
And I was right sort of just below him looking up thinking, yes, I timed it just right, man. It was great. It was really great. It was one of them moments. What was you saying? Sorry, I just went totally off one there. What was you saying? Um,
You were asking whether they
so,
the whole whether they'd come up with that title from somewhere else, and then also the whole uh uh sort of energy of that album, particularly that Welcome to the Jungle track, sort of captures
yeah.
that whole spirit. And I that made me think of that sort of nihilistic sort of rock and roll because they have as a band. I mean, they did a pretty good job of destroying themselves one by one. They all had their various demons, didn't they? And you can see that a lot in music and creativity. And the other thing, the other this, I guess uh, this is what it made me think of, and I'm going to bring it back to the to football because I know you love your football. Um, but if you look at players like Paul Gascoigne and George Best and these complete sort of maverick players that had this incredible talent and
Hmm.
seemed to be able to sort of do anything with a football, but also had this propensity to absolutely just mess everything up and to destroy themselves. And I guess that's what it makes me think of is we have this sort of narrative around great creativity comes with a sort of caveat of madness, stroke destruction, stroke sort of, you know, it almost goes back to the idea of Van Gogh cutting his ear off. You know, it's like you can't be
Yeah.
this incredible, great creative presence without having this element of destruction, without having this almost ability to sort of destroy everything that you've got. You, it's almost like if you just exist and are are good, then you don't really get noticed. It's almost like you have to have this kind of rock and roll, you know, whether it's the Stones that started it or whether it was I don't know, even I mean Elvis
Goes
kind of
way back from
yeah,
there, man.
but you know Elvis, you know whatever he was addicted to, whether it was burgers and
Yeah.
painkillers, whatever it was, you know, there's this sort of like
It goes way back before that.
Robert
That
Johnson.
Goes
the
way back
pact,
before
pact,
that, man.
pact with the devil. You know, he went to the crossroads. Suddenly,
Yeah,
he can learn how to play guitar. It's like we've got this sort of yeah. I don't know if we ever sort of lose that the madness of the creative genius is that they will there's a destruction there as well as the great sort of creativity, and we seem to accept that as the narrative and want that
yeah,
quite
yeah.
often. Um, that's what it made
Um,
me think of.
yeah, I mean, yes, this is true. It appears so. Um, I think there's a lot of mythology around it as well, that you have to be like that. I think it is possible to inhabit creative, supernatural spaces, you know. What did I call it? Creative supernatural spaces.
Mm,
You know, just being extraordinarily exceptional. Do you know there's a freaking new diagnosis? I don't know if
right.
anyone listening is aware of this, but I've worked with a handful of mavericks that have been diagnosed with a double E,
What's a double E?
extraordinarily exceptional,
um,
or exceptionally extraordinary. I'm
um,
pretty sure it's extraordinarily exceptional. It's a
at
double E.
what? Everything.
They're just clever. They're
Okay.
just super freaking IQ is off the chain. You know, it's like,
Right.
and the irony is that I mentor them. But yeah, it's mad. Yeah, extraordinarily exceptional. Now, there's a lot of people in the space in the public eye who seem to be in leadership roles that we are, say, we are perhaps affected by. You could probably say that they would be diagnosed in the little institutions that they're, you know, the incubators that they're brought up in. Um, they would be diagnosed probably today as extraordinarily exceptional. But look at the fucking mess they're making of it.
Why would
So
they be diagnosed as EE? Oh, that sounds awful because it sounds like they're part of the like
it's a curse.
mobile network or something.
It's a curse, in my opinion. It doesn't do anyone any favors. You know, don't tell someone you're extraordinarily exceptional when you're that young. It's gonna fuck with you. You know, it's like, you know, it can go two ways with it. You can either pick up a violin with that. I remember being in Switzerland in a music shop in Zurich, and I was just jamming on some guitars in my spare time. I was on a job, and I went to the music store as often as I could just to get some sanity from the job
Mm-hmm.
I was working. And I was in there and I heard literally this sort of like incredible violin uh, sound. You know, someone was playing violin in the string section. I was in the guitar, you know, in the guitars, and I heard it. I stopped playing. And I was like, "Fuck, whoever that is, they're good." So I had a little nosy, and it was a little freaking probably an extraordinarily exceptional child, you know, young Asian girl, fucking amazing, playing this incredible music. So depends where you put that EE, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was we going off? I'm taking it off track again. Where were we? Why?
Well, I think that's. I mean, so if
EE. Why did I say EE? Said something extraordinary,
yeah.
exceptionally.
So if
Oh,
people are that extraordinary, like they've had to have that level of sort of discipline to get to that level, then so again, quite often I get, like if we were going back with that analogy of like sort of destruction with the creativity. I mean, I think we talked about this the other day because I watched it a couple of weeks back now, but Amadeus, and I know
yeah.
it's not a true story. There's some elements of truth in it, but the
Mm-hmm.
idea that he was this child genius prodigy is true. And I don't know quite if his whole sort of madness and appetite for all the fun things in life were as true as shown in the film. But
Well, back then, man, it's just no different. You know, they didn't have. I mean, it could have been probably even more extreme because they didn't have to worry about getting, it was all, there's no
Tucked
social
away.
media. There's no social media. There's no, who's gonna freaking grass him up? You know what I
Yeah, yeah.
mean? Sorry, go
So
on, keep
yeah,
going.
so it can be completely debauched and get away with it. But it's yeah, I just wonder I wonder to have that sort of discipline and that level of creativity, how you then handle that. Because it is almost like having magic, isn't it? It's almost like, oh my God, I can have this incredible wow, as I did that, like my screen just expanded. It's almost like I had a power ray there.
You had
Um
supernatural ability to
Supernatural
make.
powers, yeah. So it's I just wonder whether it's like having that ability and then being knowing what to do with it,
Mm,
whether it does send you into sort of some sort of madness and some sort of I don't know quite what to do with this because the talent is so much. It's too it's like how does one person be that great at something? Like you said, it can be a curse as well as a gift.
yes, I think that's maybe where I was going with it, or with the, it's how we channel. This is how I know it to be true for me, and this is what I always encourage and advocate for with other people when I collaborate with people, when I'm dealing with exceptional extraordinariness, whatever you want to call it, supernatural ability,
Yeah.
you know, like the extraordinarily exceptional person. And I believe that we are all like that. I always believe that, even the little, little Frankie who's doesn't believe in himself, who, like, remember, I hope I can say this, when I met you at the place that you was at, that academy,
Hmm.
and me and Joel came in
Yeah.
and started working with the what you would deem, society would deem as the outcasts, the dropouts,
Yeah.
the defects, right? The ones that are on the back alley. They were probably forecast by mainstream school, mainstream, mainstream um, academics to be the ones that would end up in Skid Row round an oil drum which is lit with their hands out, warming their hands. That they're the sort of people that are gonna end up there. That's what society thinks of those people.
Mm.
And me and Joel came in, Joel being a very talented, truly exceptional person in his own right. And he used to be homeless on the streets of London. And I was collaborating with him. And he, remember, we came into your
Mm.
academy and we started working with that small group of young mavericks
Yeah.
who
Yeah. Yeah.
who, in my opinion, were all extraordinarily exceptional in their own way, talented, but they just didn't have the belief or the skills to realize it.
Mm.
And we held the space for them, didn't we, over a series of weeks. And through that process, they started to um, cultivate and grow, and something really beautiful came out of that. They all formed a group, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they wrote a song
Yeah.
and they performed it
They did.
at the school's end of Christmas ball.
Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, they got a standing ovation, didn't they?
Yeah. 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 They put the house down. They were great.
And it was a big fucking fuck you to the system, to the people that didn't believe in them, that thought they were just dropouts.
Yeah.
So that's why I just said that. It's understanding how to harness, support, and promote greatness when someone doesn't see it in themselves. And how do we do that for ourselves when we Because I believe we're all like that. Little Frankie, little Johnny, little Benny, little freaking
Davey.
Timothy,
Do
or
you? Do you
or
think we've all got some innate ability that we can all be exceptional at?
I believe so, yeah.
So
Because
do you
think,
think you've got an ability that you're exceptional at?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, I do more than one.
What is that ability?
Um, it's spirit, my human spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, my human spirit. The force is strong.
Yeah.
My human spirit. I have reconnected to my human spirit. Now, the best way to put this is think you're a a bright burning fire. Your human spirit is a burning fire,
Hmm.
far greater than that bin.
Leave the bins alone. Come on.
You've got like this fire. I mean, it's a volcano. It's a fucking volcano
All right.
of red hot, powerful lava, right? And has your volcano erupted yet? Ask
Like,
yourself this, people at home. You know, if you're dialed into what we're talking about right now, has your volcano erupted yet? Have you put all your hot
ness.
lava out into the world? Have you shown the world what you're made of yet? Or have you just stayed dormant, bubbling away, getting resentful? That's quite a good analogy, isn't it?
Oh, I quite like that.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Have you celebrated your volcanic eruption in your lifetime? And you can take that how you want.
So you think that everybody has the potential to erupt and
Yeah.
explode creative lava over the
Yes.
world?
Yes, but some people don't have that. It requires a power surge.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a scientist. We need to bring someone in. Should we call in a scientist, right? We need to get a. We should do that on this as we develop. You know, it's like right, call Roger
Roger the
or
scientist.
yeah, or Barbara. Sorry, let's get it real.
Okay.
Yeah, or Jeffro or someone. Because I'm not a scientist, but I believe that a volcanic eruption, it's science, isn't it? It requires a surge, it requires something to happen for it to erupt. Or does it just erupt by its own accord? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But I would imagine it requires some sort of catalyst converter, some sort of, fuel injected power surge to force the eruption. It's a bit like orgasm,
Okay.
if you think about it. Can we dare to go into this one?
I don't know where you're going to go with it.
Well, it's no different. It requires some stimulation to get it
Yeah.
going for the big bang to happen. The
Okay.
volcano needs to splurge all its lava all over the place. It needs to have some sort of, you know, oomph.
Oomph. Some sort of trigger.
Now, think about it, right? On a serious note, you know, if we are harboring greatness, right,
Hmm.
then do we need some sort of push? Does that come from ourselves, or do we need something outside of ourselves to make it happen, make it so? Now, I don't know how this all links into destruction, but it kind of does because I think once we have that eruption and we splurge all our lava all over the place and go, "Yeah, there we go, have it. Have my lava. It's there, right? This is who I am." It's like the big reveal. Here's my fiery true nature, right? Then destruction will fall away. Maybe the destruction's happening. Maybe our self-destructive ways and our intoxication, our appetite for destruction and to be around destruction and destructive environments, people, places, and things. Maybe that is because we feel suppressed like the volcano and we're not erupting, and we need to do a big, big eruption.
Okay.
I think I've said this before in the same context, but in a different way about needing a laxative when you're constipated. It's the same thing, but emotionally,
Yeah, yeah.
like emotionally.
And I mean, just picking up on the analogy of the volcano, I mean, there is a large element of a volcanic eruption that is really destructive. You're destroying stuff for something new to be created.
Yeah, I like this. Yes, yes, yes.
So I think, quite often, I think this is, in terms of great art and great creativity and great sort of entrepreneurship, it's quite often done at the hardest moments. It feels like it's, that context of people having to be pushed into a corner before they actually make their life's work or make their greatness. So often it is a response to something, some form of hardship. It's great art comes again. It's very much the narrative. The idea of the guy going and locking himself away in a cabin in some remote, on a remote mountain because his heart is broken and he makes the most beautiful album or something.
I thought you were talking about the Unibomber then.
No,
Because
um,
that turned out to be quite destructive, man.
yeah, that did very destructive. But I think, but there is that is another part of it. When you talk about him and you talk about politics and you talk about revolution, there is an element of that is very destructive to create something new. You
Yeah.
know, revolutions aren't peaceful, and very rarely are they peaceful. That's why we picked the name the Velvet Revolution, because it was a peaceful revolution. But more often than not, there is a lot of violence, there is a lot of destruction, there is a lot of chaos, and out of that chaos, once it's happened, and something new is created.
Yeah.
um
Big Bang Theory.
yeah, and I just, like, there was, who was it the other day? Oh, it was, do you there's a guy called Ryan Halliday. He writes about the Stoics, and he's got quite a big presence online and stuff, and he writes lots of books about Stoicism and, yeah, and all of that sort of thinking. And he was showing his desk, his working creative area, as what how he's created this space and what he has in the space that reminds him um, of what his process is. And one of the things he had was this pine cone, this seed, and it's a special pine cone that comes out of one of the pine trees in America. And the only way that it can actually, because it's totally sealed up with resin, and the only way that pine cone can actually open and start to grow more trees is after a forest fire. It's only a fire that can open up this pine cone and start again. So, even that, where we see a forest, these devastating forest fires that we see, and obviously we're seeing a lot more because of global
Mm.
warming and all this, but the response to that, nature has a way of responding to that, and that is this pine cone that will only open up and only grow again when it reaches this intense heat and it will then respond to that, and it will start new growth.
Yeah,
So there in nature you can see it, in society you can see it, that destruction quite often leads to something new and something and growth,
yeah,
but it feels very painful and it feels very negative. Quite often, we talk about, we started talking about Guns N' Roses. You can't say any of them have lived a particularly healthy life. They've all ended up, they may have come out of the other side of addiction now, but they all basically just tried to destroy themselves through drink and drugs. And you know, it's yeah, it's that sort of conundrum of like how much destruction do you need to have before something good comes out of it, and do you need to be that nihilistic about it? Do you need to completely destroy yourself for something new to start? I guess that's what I'm thinking about at this moment in time. It's sort of pushing me into those great artists that have produced something incredible, but it's come out of quite a dark place.
yeah. I just watched. I bought it. I was waiting for it to come out. The Jeff Buckley
Well, okay.
film, the actual film that's been
Yeah.
wait. It's been long waited, and it's finally come out. Have you not got it yet? Have you not seen it?
No, I still haven't seen it. Yeah, it's
Oh.
been talked about for ages, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, God, it's got all of the only people that, apart from Jeff Buckley, of course, it's got the only people that really can tell you more factually, as real as they can get, what was going on at that time, because it's got all the people that are really, really in his inner circle,
Right.
not a bunch of people that just think they know what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
It's a really beautiful, beautiful piece of work, and it's yeah. I mean, he was definitely a double E.
Okay.
Gonna roll with this EE. He was just so we're clear. This you can look it up. Don't believe me and take my word for it, but I believe psychiatrists and people of that ilk are now using this double E as for IQ for very, very intelligent people. It's a double E, extraordinarily exceptional. Can't just settle for yeah, you're pretty clever, mate. Um, but anyway, I don't see it in the context of like those realms see it as academically. I feel
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
that's how they see it. That's how I feel they position it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's like IQ is to do with intelligence. It's not really, because I'm going to be honest, when it is measured by that, it's like, well, there's no depth of field when it comes to the emotional intelligence part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they really struggle, is these really truly exceptional people. And I just mentioned that earlier about the, um, people that lead us into dark shadows. They've got extraordinarily exceptional intelligence. Went to good schools and are well educated, mainly most of them. But anyway, going off track. But emotionally intelligent. I'm all about the double E in emotional intelligence. I don't give a fuck about intellect. Academics, it doesn't mean shit to me. Really, doesn't really count a lot in the grand scheme of things. I'm all about emotional depth. Spiritual depth. Just jazzing out there. It's my little rant for today. But yeah, Jeff Buckley, from what I saw in the film, I'm only relaying what I saw, so it's my interpretation of a documentary that was presenting the narrative of what happened and who he was, and he was just incredibly dialed in. He was very sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
very, very sensitive, um, incredibly artistic, gifted beyond belief. He was angelic, even, I would say, biblical. Screw double E. He was biblical in Liam Gallagher's context, biblical.
Okay.
And and so and I'm not comparing Jeff Buckley to Liam Gallagher, by the way.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm saying that Liam Gallagher uses biblical in a certain context, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
I'm saying. But Jeff Buckley, yeah. So he it's really sad because it just shows what we see in everything. You know, I just rewatched the John Lennon Imagine documentary. You know, about the sort of that time in his life post Beatles, and you know, making that album and leading up to his assassination. And yeah, John and Jeff, man, John and Jeff, they were they had supernatural ability, man. I'm telling you. But with that comes,
With great power comes great responsibility.
yeah, and the destruction, you know, and like a lot of these documentations that we see, and I've got it in my own journey, my own life, you know, that I've lived. You know, I relate to their stories um, because they're right at the root of it for me. And I'm only talking about what I've seen in John Lennon's story and what I saw in Jeff Buckley's story. Right at the root of it, like it is in my story, is early life heartache,
Hmm.
early life suffering, early life trauma. And that is the genesis for everything, always. That's what powers the power of the volcano, whether it erupts or not in its lifetime. That is what is the power surge, is that trauma, in my opinion. That's what drives it. The suffering, the pain,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
heartache. Yeah.
There's something.
Is
There's
it
something both beautifully poetic about this idea of coming through some sort of form of hardship and coming out the other side and creating something beautiful out of it. But there's something also very sad that as humans we have to be pushed to this extreme for then something to come out of it.
but I'm gonna not challenge that because I'm not challenged, it doesn't need to be challenged. I'm going to add to that
Yeah,
that it doesn't have to be. It's perspective.
yeah.
Like if you choose to attach to the sorrow of the story
Hmm.
and the events and the situations that we have to navigate in life, talking from the eye, and this is for anyone listening, think about it relatively to your own lives and your own stories. If we attach to the sadness and the sorrow of the suffering and the pain and the heartache and the wounds of things that happen to us, if we attach to that, then yeah, there is a real sadness to it, which we have to live with. And yeah, of course, we can create great art out of that, you know, and there's a lot of melancholy examples of that are out there in the world. Nick Drake, Jeff Buckley,
Jeff Buckley, Jimi
Kurt,
Hendrix,
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain,
It
Janis
go
Joplin. You could
it go
just keep
it
going.
goes on,
Brian
man.
Jones.
It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And they're just people we know about, right? There's a lot of not just artists. We're not just talking about music, man, or art. We're talking about just people living their lives with that melancholy, right? It's perspective. That's a choice. You're choosing. And yeah, I'm gonna fucking say it. You're choosing for that to be your narrative, right? You can change it. You can flip the narrative. You can. You can. I've done it. I've done it. I'm not alone. I'm not super fucking natural, exceptionally fucking extraordinary because I've done it. No, no, no. We've all got that ability to flip the narrative. Are we choosing to see it? Always comes back to this. Are we, it's perspective, are we choosing to attach to the perspective and narrative that this is all bullshit and I'm a victim? Or are we going to flip it and convert that into an almighty, astronomical, orgasmic sized fucking volcanic eruption of emotion, and we're gonna go through a chain of events that are gonna just um, create some sort of metamorphic transformation so that you see it in a different way. So you see it as it's you translate your pain into your power.
Yeah,
It sounds cliche me saying that, but it's the best way to put it.
but
You translate your pain into your power.
I think people do, but I think it's too much to hold. I guess
That's
that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to get to here, or where my thinking is. You know, if you watch, I'm thinking of Thanos and the Marvel. Did you watch? Do you watch any of the Marvel films? You
I
don't, do
can't.
you? You
Yeah,
can't stand them.
no, it's fucking it's a Hollywood America bullshit for me.
Okay.
Sorry, Hollywood America, but
So the end of Avengers Endgame, this idea is that Thanos has a glove, and on the glove is these Infinity Stones, and they control. They have each one stone has a different power, and then when you have them all together, you have this incredible ability, this incredible power over the whole universe. And he snaps his fingers, and loads of people disappear. Half the world disappears. Half the universe disappears. And he can just about do that because he has godlike powers himself,
yeah,
or godlike strength. But when it comes to reversing it, and one of the Earth superheroes actually clicking their fingers, they can't do it without dying, because they're only human. They don't have any godlike powers. So if
yeah,
they were to exact the same power, then they're gonna have to give away their life.
yeah,
And there's something about this whole idea of, and I do think we've romanticized it, but I do think sometimes what happens with people is they are given these incredible powers, but it's too much. It's too much to hold this. And that list we reeled off of, you can go into the acting world, you can go into James Dean, you can go into Marilyn Monroe, all these people we've kind of idolized in our world and turned into, our everyday superheroes. It's like they had too much. They couldn't stay in this world. They couldn't live to 100, because then they wouldn't have had the same. They wouldn't have been able to have that power. And it's like we invest in them, and we sort of look at their sort of, like they've used whatever trauma they've had and turned it into beautiful art, but they can't do that forever without it sort of eating them up. Without, Kurt couldn't cope with the fame. He couldn't cope with the amount of adulation he got. It's like it's just too much to hold for one human being. And there's very few examples, there's very few places where we hold it up as a society and go, yeah, you're incredible, you're amazing, and you've done this all the way. You've contained it, and you've held it, and you've coped with all that ability and skill, and and lived to a ripe old age. It's
yeah.
does that make sense?
It does. I totally get what you're saying. I really see it, and I feel like there's something in what you're saying, and it makes sense. And I think the added layer is the fame, because
Yeah,
that's what takes people out a lot. I feel like
yeah,
there's a lot of darkness that comes with that, a lot of complications. It's really hard to have a normal life because you're not having a normal life. It's really hard to relate to normal people because you're not surrounded by normal people,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck that is. Um, so there's that added layer. You know, you're living your life in a fishbowl with everyone looking into it, and
Hmm.
it's not normal. It's not an ordinary existence, far from it, and it's alienating, and that's normally what takes people out, and that's why they turn to drugs, etc. So there is that added layer, and yeah, I feel like that's just a certain very special, unique sort of person that lives that world. You know, it's not for everyone, but most people, like the people listening, or most people, that's not their reality.
No.
So no matter how insurmountable, you know, how overwhelming or how heavy or the burden of your your suffering is that you're carrying around, or your greatness that you feel you have to harbor, I believe that you can translate it, because it's unprocessed. You just need to process stuff. It's unprocessed. Everything we're talking about is just unprocessed energy that they don't know what to do with, in my opinion. And I do believe that Kurt Cobain would still be with us if he had processed more. That's just my opinion. I don't know him. I didn't know him, but from what I understand from watching and all the documentations of his life, I just feel like he didn't have the right people in the mix to help. You know, if he had the right people working on the right stuff in the right way, there's ways of processing stuff and translating how you feel and reducing the power that stuff has on you, man. Um, I do believe that everyone has the capability to transcend that burden, that greatness, that power. I mean, no one's given what they can't handle. None of us. We don't know. Life doesn't grant us anything that we can't handle. There's nothing
Okay.
that life can throw at us that we can't handle. We just have to believe in that to be true. That's been my experience. There's nothing life can throw at me that I can't handle, that I can get through. Now that's maybe that's faith that I hold, you know. And I think we're talking about a power that's greater than just humble little me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I feel where this is going. It's like when you switch off from a power that's greater than yourself, when you believe that you are the power, the greatness of that power, it's a bit of a contradiction because I believe we all have that power. But if you start to look at all the baddies, you know, it's like, you know, it's that. It's kind of like when they start to believe in their own power, that's when it turns dodgy. But I believe when we go to a power greater than ourselves, then that power could be a god, it could be supernatural, you know, it could be a otherworldly entity that we believe in or whatever. That power greater than ourselves could be um, other people. It could be community. It could be the village. It could be our family. It could be our brothers and sisters. It could be our companions. Um, you know, commune, community.
Mm.
The power greater than ourselves could be Arsenal. For every 22 years, you get a slice of it. Um, you know what I mean? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, wherever we find our power is yeah, we can find it in lots of different examples and lots of different places. I just yeah, I just wonder if you're dialing into that higher frequency, that higher power, it's whether you it's how your ego handles that and how you hold that frequency because I think if you know that isn't it is there some sort of like high pitch that will that will sort of shatter glass if you turn up the frequency high enough then everything sort of shatters around you and I just
Definitely.
I just wonder whether that's as you dial up the frequency, it's whether you can cope with the amount of goodness coming your way, or whether you can't handle that and it becomes destructive. It becomes a sort of, oh, I'm gonna destroy this because I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going back to all the great Marvel films, or s- it's like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you renounce the ways of the Jedi and you go to the dark side of the Force. Now, what fuels that? Hatred, fear, rage, anger, like the volcano. There's all of the, raging energy of a volcano. There's resentment there, there's fear, there's hatred. Hatred's a big one. Resentment's a big one. The resentment, the, the ill will towards yourself or others or the world or
Well, I think,
society.
yeah, and I think that's what I was. That's what that the Amadeus film is really about. It's not so much about his greatness and his ability to how he couldn't cope with that. It was more to do with the other artist who was jealous of what he had. And there
Yeah,
is there is that, I think there is anybody that is honest about creativity, there's always a part of you goes, oh, I wish I'd done that, or I wish I could
envy,
have that.
envy,
Yeah, yeah.
envy. It's a big one. Envy is a huge,
It's
huge one.
very difficult to look at, to sort of celebrate someone else's
Mm.
success when you sort of think, oh yeah, well I could have done that, or
And
yeah.
you look at the world we live in right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things that I think a lot of people get caught up in is envy.
Mm.
It's that comparing lives,
Yeah.
and and um, and there's a self hatred that comes with that, and inadequacy that comes with that, and they're all destructive, very low frequency, very coarse in energy, vibrational emotions. You know, and they are, inadequacy, low self worth, self hatred, um, and envy. You know, it's that's gonna be destructive, and we
Mm.
live in a world that's designed to promote it.
Yeah.
I think I just saw a fly go around the back of your head. Anyone watching, pause, rewind. Did I see a fly go past your head then? It went round the back.
Okay.
Unless I was completely just glitching out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, shall I look it up? I've got it. I had it marked on the big in the big book, right?
Okay.
I did, and then I just put
It
it
does
down.
look like you need to read as a story when you sit in that big chair.
I'm not gonna. I'm not sure I'm gonna remain in this big chair. I'm not sure I like it. I like it, but not when I'm doing this. Right, destructive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got destroy, destroyer, destructible, destruction, destructive.
Okay.
So let's start with destroy. End the existence of something by badly damaging. Okay. And then it's got a second example, which is kill an animal in a painless way.
Destroy.
Yeah. Kill
Why
an
paint?
That's silly. It should be dispatch. I know that from spearfishing.
You dispatch an animal painlessly.
Yeah, they call it dispatch. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they send it on its way. So it's oh man, yesterday saw I went head on. Like I did chicken with a school of freaking. They weren't sea bass, they weren't pollock. I'm not sure what they were. Any fisherman, send us some. Like leave a comment, let us know what they were. They were blue in color, like almost iridescent, sort of silvery blue. Quite fair size. They weren't sea bass. They weren't pollock. I know there was quite a few of them. and
Okay.
and I was head on with them, and I wasn't carrying. I'm not speared up. And Carlo, I had a knife on my arm, but Carlo's got like, I'm not gonna stop jabbing away at them frantically. Carlo was like, I don't know, way over there somewhere, and he was in the wrong place, man. I was where the action was at. Okay, so destroyer, personal thing that destroys. And then second thing says a small fast warship.
Nice.
All right, destructible, able to be destroyed. Destruction, the action of destroying or the state of being destroyed. The cause of someone's ruin. Gambling was his destruction.
Mm.
Destructive, causing severe damage or destruction. There we go, anyway, severe. So it says severe, but I think we know that.
Beyond repair.
Yeah. So we started with appetite for destruction. Do you think we've covered all bases?
What beyond appetite for destruction?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I need to give an example from my own experience of, I mean, it's so many. I mean, there's so many ways. There's so many branches to how destruction can affect us in our lives, whether we are being self-destructive or we are doing it outwardly. Now, even if we are doing it internally, even if we're being destructive to ourselves internally, there's still going to be a ripple effect where it's going to affect the other,
Mhm.
right? Like my personality was impaired. Like when I was born,
Okay.
I believed my fire was bright. I was a
Okay.
babe. I was a little baby volcano, right?
Hmm.
And bubbling away, and my lava was bright.
Okay.
I was like a little lava lamp,
Okay.
and it was just bright. My spirit, my human spirit, was bright when I was born. I don't think I was born with darkness. I don't think I was born with a dimmed light. I felt like I had a burning desire. Life was, I was in awe. If you haven't listened to season two, episode one, Awe, it's a good one.
Okay.
Um, I was in awe, man. I had a great curiosity for life. There was splendor. There was a great majestic breeze in the air that caught my cheek as I walked down the street to the sweet shop. And life felt pretty chipper. And then life happens. And my experience between that point and now has taught me that whatever life throws at me, I can handle it because I've
Hmm.
I've got to here and I've handled it. Everything I've been through, I've got to here. I've survived. I'm like, I'm here. Got steely resilience, determination not to quit, not to be beat, and I've got a lot of audacity to keep going. I will not be beat. And there's great strength that comes with that, great courage that is yielded, etc., etc. But when I was a little baby lava lamp and life starts to happen to me, I didn't have that experience. I didn't have the means to understand or believe or know that I'll be okay. And some stuff happens to me, like it does to all of us in life, in early childhood, where things felt a little bit unjust and a little bit wobbly and challenging and incredibly hard to navigate, you know? And I felt like I had to do it on my own a little bit. Although there were people that were supporting me, I didn't connect to that. You know, I went inward, not outward. I didn't
Yeah.
know how to articulate my journey, so I internalized it, right? And I started to pick up certain coping mechanisms to try and figure it out to my detriment. Some were destructive. And that journey has taught me well. You know, that journey has shown me that, you know, I can be destructive. I know destruction. I've been it. I've created it. I've sat in it. I've um, I've explored it. And I know what it's like to have an appetite for destruction.
Yep.
And I was greedy, so I fed well. I indulged. You know,
Okay. So what's the difference? What's the difference between you and Jeff Buckley? So
he wrote
uh,
Grace.
he
All
wrote
right.
Grace, yeah, there's that. So if you had in that time where you were destroying and being self-destructive and consuming and doing all the things that you knew or weren't, or sorry, you probably weren't aware straight away. You know, it took you a
No.
while to understand that they were destructive, but you went through a period of time where you were doing lots of things that were destroying the self or removing you from the self, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and taking you away from yourself. Now, if you had in that period of time written a hit song, been performing, or had been making art, you know, maybe you'd been a great painter or sculptor, or you'd written some plays that had, you know, become huge, or you'd written a book at that point. Do you think that adulation would have allowed you to carry on destroying yourself without realizing, or do you think you'd have still come out the other side?
Who knows? But there's so many different ways that plays out. One of the ways that that plays out is it just cocoons you, like I said earlier, in an incubator. You're in a fishbowl, everyone's looking in, and you're alienated.
Yeah.
You're so disconnected from truth and from goodness and support. You know, all the right things. You know, that sort of that world, and I know it well because I've worked in that world a lot, and I know people, you know, who are in that world.
Mm-hmm.
I know it well, man. it's uh, it's a very very peculiar world to live in.
Mm.
It's really intoxicating just to be in it. It's like it's really intoxicating. It's really hard to function in that world. You've really got to be centered to weather that, to navigate it, and to have longevity in that world. You've really got to have a lot of strength
Okay.
and good people around you. So I think the answer to that is I could be dead. I reckon
Mm-hmm.
I could have lost my life in that world if I
Yeah.
hadn't gone down that world, like all the others. I could see how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or there are some great characters out there that got through it. Keith Richards, man. By some grace of something, is, you know, I mean, that's one example. There's
I
others,
mean,
isn't there?
well, yeah, nobody from Guns N' Roses has died yet, have they? Did any of them die?
I don't know. I don't know, but not that I know of. But yeah. So look, I don't know. I mean, look, for us common folk who aren't in
Yeah.
that peculiar world that is, um, we're not playing the fame game.
Mm.
The fame game is, but you know, for us civilians that live outside of that bubble, um, we don't have that extra layer of insanity because it's like the Truman Show. It's just insanity to be in that world.
Mm.
Crazy world to live. So for us normies out here, um, is it any different? Is it? I mean, with social media and everyone, is it not just there's some similarities there with we're all just creating these masks and avatars and we're just projecting what we think people want us to be? Where's our truth in that? Where's our authenticity?
Mm.
I think this is it. I think this is where it's all led to. Is for me it's authenticity. Can I be authentic? Who am I? That question again.
Yeah.
Who am I? And I think the people that all the greats that have gone, who we lost, who we all think we know who they are.
Yeah.
Like I was watching that John Lennon Imagine documentary last night, the film again. I watched it again, and there's this famous, not famous. It's a clip of John Lennon at his house when he was still in Ascot, in the big freaking white house where they filmed the Imagine video, and where they recorded the whole album because it was recorded there. And some random guy had been camping out in his garden. He was a really good looking dude actually. Had like fucking looked really cool. He was a really, really, really beautiful young man actually, but he looked really grubby because he'd been sleeping rough, and I think as it was shown, I think if he was diagnosed, he might have been diagnosed with having some sort of personality disorder, maybe.
Right. Okay.
But what I saw was he was just lost, a little bit lost. And I think we can't do this episode without using that term lost. Um, because this guy, he was what, late 20s, 30, early 30s max. And at that time, John Lennon was not that much older than him, right? I think. Maybe wrong. But it shows this scene where John is this guy. It had been brought to John's attention that this guy was sleeping rough in the garden, literally. They knew he was there, so they sort of said, "Go and get him, bring him up to the house." So he got the guy up to the house, and he's standing there. Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
No, I've never seen it.
All right, and the guy's convinced that John's writing songs about him,
Right.
which is that's a red flag straight away.
Yeah.
But John's explaining to him that, look, I'm just some guy, man, no different to you. I'm just some guy who's like, I, I've got like ideas and thoughts and feelings, and I write them down, and some of it makes sense to me, some of it doesn't even make sense to me. But it's how I express myself, and I create art out of it, and I put it down as a song, and I put it out. And the guy's like, "So you're not writing that song about me?" And I'm like, "No, if anyone, I'm writing it about Yoko, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or in hindsight, writing it about me.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not thinking of you as a person when I'm writing it. But the guy's like, but I really connect to that song. I feel like it's about me, and I don't feel like John like knew how to sort of it caught him off guard a bit, I think. And the cameras was on him. I mean, this is in the documentary.
Mhm.
But I think it really illuminates how we can all feel sometimes. And it really illuminates how it is for someone like John Lennon in that world.
Yeah.
That he's just a normal guy with emotions and feelings and thoughts and experiences, and he writes them down, he journalizes them, and he puts them into art, and then he puts it out. And if one other person connects to it, that's a fucking beautiful thing. Now he had to be careful because if he had said, "Yeah, look, do you know what? If you feel that song's about you and you relate to it, great, take it. Then it is about you." But then that's basically giving him an open invitation for that guy to go psycho on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to be careful in that world. You know, this is why in that world people. That's why they struggle because they're getting vulnerable. We're talking about vulnerability, and they're getting vulnerable, and they're putting their vulnerability into art, and then putting it out into the world, and people connect to that vulnerability. Like people connect to John Lennon's vulnerability. People connected to Jeff Buckley's vulnerability. People connected to Kurt Cobain's vulnerability. You know, but we're all. That shows that we're all just on a level.
Yeah.
We're all just. No one's exempt from that, man. Anyway, sorry, I just went into one, but
No, I think that's fascinating. I think it's really interesting because that
oh,
just
and
makes gone.
just to end on it, and then John said, "Look, do you want to come in and have some food? You look like you need to eat." And he brought him in, and then you see the next scenes. They're all sitting around the table. I mean, Phil Spector's there, man, for God's sake. And George Harrison was over there, and they're recording an album. Mid-album, he's got the guy in, and he's feeding him. It shows him around the table eating in the kitchen. So how
Yeah.
beautiful is John Lennon? You know, how
Yeah.
beautiful was that? You know, there's a real moment of connection there. And the guy looked so lost. He didn't have the answers he wanted either. If anything, he just saw he had a snapshot into John's world, and he thought, "Fuck!" And there's probably some envy there, you know, of
Yeah.
why is it that this guy's got all of this and I've got nothing? I'm sleeping, you know, in a garden, down the end of the garden, wanting to be near this person. You know, it's like that hero worship thing, isn't it?
But I think
Sorry,
it's
I interrupted you. Sorry.
no, no, no. I think it's really incredible that that I think that you've hit the nail on the head there, where people connect, people, all the three names you mentioned, but the vulnerability of each of those people has only grown since their deaths, and their sort of their mythology has just grown and grown, and people associate with it and hear themselves in it. When they see themselves in those songs. They decide that the Beatles. There was so many obsessive different. You can talk about Charles Manson. You can talk about I can't remember the guy's name that actually shot him in the end, but Chapman. Why do I want to say Chapman? No,
I don't. Yeah, I can't think.
but they all saw themselves in the music. They all thought there was some sort of special connection to John Lennon, and I think that's what I was saying earlier about this idea of great art and great power and great creativity. Like you said, John Lennon was just a bloke that wrote songs. They were really good songs, but people then added so much on top because they needed to for their own lives. And that is a lot of power for anyone to hold.
So write your own fucking songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
I
your own
mean,
art.
I
Do
mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think it is. It's
Yeah.
we are all capable of picking up a pencil,
Yeah.
writing a book, uh,
Yeah.
learning an instrument. We are all capable. We might, it's going to take us all time, but it's whether we have the uh, the drive to do it. But we can all do it. But then we automatically, the moment someone does it and
Mm.
finishes something and puts it out there, we then end up turning them into gods, turning them into these sort of superhuman uh, people that can't contain that.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked in the world. I've said it before, I say it again. I've worked in that world, and careful what I say, but don't matter where it is, whether it's whatever world of fame you're in. There's vulnerability there. There's huge insecurities there.
Mm,
There's it's all there at the core of it. Behind all the smoke and mirrors, behind all the
yeah.
glam, is immense, immense vulnerability and insecurity. So we need to understand that and stop putting people on a pedestal, right? Celebrate their art, yeah, um, but leave them alone, man. Like, go and write your own fucking rock opera.
I don't like rock operas. Don't write any
Okay,
more
I
rock
don't know why I
operas.
said that. Write your own musical. Write your own. Write your own. Just be creative, and you haven't got to be artistic. Oh, I'm not artistic though. This doesn't really apply to me. What they're talking about. Well, there's loads of ways to express yourself, man. It's about self-expression and realizing, the who am I. Stop freaking idolizing other people, man. It's good to have role models. It's good to have people of sources of inspiration. Yeah, but get those sources of inspiration so that you can be motivated to then create your own version of it in your own
Mm,
way. Create what is your, you know, what story are you gonna write, man? What have you got to say? And why are you not saying it?
yeah.
So sort it out.
That's it's a really interesting place to arrive at, starting with destruction to get to a point where it's like actually just go and create, just go and make. It's good for your soul. You don't
Yeah,
have to, and you don't have to be John Lennon. You don't have to be world famous. You don't have to, the whole world doesn't need to celebrate your art. You're doing it. And I think that's the authenticity of all of those people. The vulnerability, the honesty that comes through in their art is they were doing it for themselves. They
yeah,
weren't doing it to chase fame. They weren't doing it to chase uh, that status. And the moment that status arrived, most of them struggled with it and couldn't handle it for a period of time, you know.
yeah. It
So
always
yeah,
takes you out,
go and
man. When you
make,
get to a certain level.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go.
yeah,
Should we
yeah.
end it on that?
I think
Okay,
so.
so
I
anyone
think so. That
listening,
was yeah.
yeah, the message is clear, right? Just sort it out. Go and express
Explode and
yourselves.
create. What? Yeah,
Yeah.
go and do the healthy stuff.
Okay. Well, if you've liked what you've heard and you think someone needs to hear what we're talking about, even if you didn't feel it was for you, but you feel, oh, I think my aunt freaking Del
Nora,
Boy.
Auntie
Aunt Del
Del
Boy?
Boy.
It's a bit of a weird one. Aunt Del Boy. I nearly had a crash in
Did
my
you?
car. I've never crashed my car. It was in the a supermarket's car park. How can I say this without it being inappropriate? I was behind someone trying to check out. I can't say it. I can't say it without it sounding wrong. Anyway,
Okay.
I nearly crashed. And I wasn't
Okay.
perving. I wasn't perving. I was trying to figure out, I was trying to look at, I can't say it. I can't. And I nearly
Okay.
crashed because I wasn't paying attention. Why was I saying that anyway? What relevance did that have?
I've got no idea.
Where did that
Just
just come from?
just popped into your head.
No, what was you saying before that?
Go and create.
Oh, because I was talking about Auntie Del Boy.
Oh
That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
Auntie Nora.
we'll leave it at that. There's the clue
Okay.
right there, right? Auntie Del Boy. Um, okay, look, yes, if you like what you've heard, share it with people because this is how it works to help people. Is you've got to share shit, man. You can press buttons, like us, whatever. If you haven't already, subscribe. Follow TVR on the the gram. Do they call it that, or is it the Insta? What are we? Are we the
uh,
gram or the Insta?
I think the kids are calling it Insta, but
Okay.
I quite like the gram.
Yeah, the grams, isn't that an American way? I think the Americans call it the gram. Any Americans listening? I know you are. Is it the gram? Is it the gram? I think it is. Anyway, how did you get on with that one? Did you feel we did it justice?
Yeah, I thought, yeah, yes, I think so. It's always an interesting conversation, and always goes in places I don't expect it to. So yeah, I thought that was yeah,
Very well. Good.
I thought it was good.
Good, good. All right, man. Well, look, I'm going to attempt to close us down from a distance, from afar, which is, I'm
You're
trying
going to
to.
use your magic power. See if I can make the screen expand again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, man. Well, look, it's been good, Mr. Rice,
En-
Ben.
Enjoy the sunshine today.
And you. See you on the next one.
Yeah, see you then. Take care.